Aussie Cossack arrested and bailed. Who here saw this? I'm sure that a lot of you know the story that I'm talking about. The man in question here, Simeon from Sydney, very popular YouTuber, runs a popular platform called the Aussie Cossack. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of videos here because I've never seen anything like this before. Okay, we know that people who are in breach of the so-called Chief Health Officer's directions, they receive fines. But what happened to Simeon was absolutely absurd and truly boggles the mind. So he was accused of breaching the Chief Health Officer's directions, or the equivalent in New South Wales of the Public Health and Wellbeing Act, like what we have in Victoria. But instead of receiving a fine on the spot or a fine in the mail, an arrest warrant was executed. Police came to his house and arrested him in his living room as if they were hunting down some type of terrorists. And they really could have just left a fine in his mailbox. This begs the question, where is all of this heading? Since when does a summary offence or a finable offence result in police showing up late at night, making arrests, bringing people into a police station? Now, they did it on a Friday afternoon, and this is a very typical tactic that police use, okay? If they don't like somebody, they'll purposefully make the arrest on a Friday afternoon, knowing they can hold the suspect in police custody over the weekend. Okay, if you're to all the police members watching the show right now, and I know there's at least a few of you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that you do it, or that you have done it. All right. So anyway, I'm going to show you the footage that led to the initial line of communication between Simeon and a senior constable, and then I'll show you the arrest. Then I'll show you an interview that Simeon and I had earlier before. And you know what? I'll put it out there. You can make up your own mind. How about that?
Got my strenuous exercise on the bay walk. So if this matter goes to court, there's evidence of me running, as you can see. Very out of breath. Any reason to be harassing these gentlemen? Public holiday, harassing people. Are you alright, boys? I'm doing a squat. What's up, boys? What does he want? What does he want?
I have no idea, man.
Is he targeting you because you're ethnics?
I think so. Nah,
You're from...
He's alright.
Mate, I've got to do squats otherwise I'll be arrested. Huh? I'm being
Where you from, brother? Where you from?
Aussie Cossack YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
Supporting citizens who are under attack.
How much followers do you have?
About 90,000.
Oh, wow.
I'm squatting, look. Exercise. Constable Kingston, leave him alone, mate. Jesus. You're bloody parked where there's a double line. How dangerous is this? Look, he's caused a dangerous situation. It's outrageous. Anyway, I'm going to continue exercising. You got to catch me first. I'm exercising. You going to exercise with me?
Right, so
Let's go for a run.
I'll just let you know that my name's Senior Constable Kingston.
I'm exercising.
And this conversation is being recorded
Likewise.
on the body worn camera.
You're interrupting an exercise.
Right, so the thing is,
Sorry, can I keep walking?
No. I'll tell you what you can do.
You can either arrest me or let me go.
No. So you're now suspected of committing an offence.
What is that?
Well, what's your reasonable excuse to be?
I'm exercising, mate.
No, you're not. You drive past me in your car.
And I parked to exercise.
Yeah, you did not.
It's all on camera.
Okay.
What's the name of your channel?
YouTube, Aussie Cossack. 100,000 people are going to watch it.
Mate,
They've seen me exercising.
You are an absolute menace. All right, really? You're an absolute menace, and we know this is all for your YouTube channel. We're not stupid.
I'm smart.
So
I'm doing squats. I'm exercising.
Okay, so
Anything else?
I actually know who you are.
Good.
All right, and I'll be taking action against you.
I'm exercising.
Hey,
hang on. I'm doing a squat right here, right in front of you. There's the evidence.
The thing is,
I'm
you're
exercising.
being too smart for your own good.
If I'm exercising,
you
I'm
can
exercising.
leave now, and the infringement will come in the mail. See you,
I'm
mate.
exercising.
See you later.
You know what? You don't like exercise. Arrested for exercise. How about that? Give me the infringement now.
See ya.
I went to the people. I'll see you in... I'm just going to run up and down the bay walk. I bay walk here all the time. I run here all the time. I'll see you in court, Kingston.
All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the first exchange of words. Feel free to comment your thoughts below. Now, what happened shortly after? The same senior constable plus two of his colleagues actually arrested Simeon at home. Now, whether you agree with Simeon's approach or not, it really doesn't matter here, because what we're looking at is an alleged breach of the health orders. And the question is, why was Simeon not issued with a fine? So check this out. Have a look at the arrest.
No, снимаешь прямо.
So, Simeon about?
Yeah.
The guys got the police at the door. So how can I help you?
Come here, Mr. Boykov. We want to have a chat to you.
You want to come in?
No. Come here.
Or do you want to come inside?
Well, whenever we have to, but we prefer you come to the door.
Mr. Boykov,
Okay.
please just come to the door, mate.
No, you come inside. Come inside.
Okay. Stand up. Stand up. You're under arrest. Stand up.
I'm under arrest?
You're under arrest. Stand up. Move away from the desk. You're under arrest. Stand up. I cannot be any further. Clear up.
So what do you want to do? You want to
I
arrest
want you
me?
to stand up and move away from the table. I'm formally placing you under arrest. My name is Lenny Senior Constable Kingston from Burwood High Patrol. I'll let you know right now that this conversation is being recorded on the body worn camera. Do you understand that? Do you understand this being recorded on the body worn camera?
I can understand that. So,
Okay.
so what are you arresting me for?
Okay, so you are under arrest, alright? You're under arrest because of an offence committed at 5:25.
Can I get anyone to introduce
Hang
themselves?
on
I don't know
a
if you're
second.
police or not.
No, hang on.
Who are you, sorry?
Senior Constable Jane from Burwood High.
So, Jane, can I see a badge? Yeah, can I give you a badge then? What's your name?
Sergeant Porchichatty from Bell Police.
And Kingston. Now, you've been making threats against me.
Okay.
And you've said you're going to get
I'm
me.
not going to entertain you
Is
tonight.
this what you're doing? Is this your
You are
following
under.
through on the
You
threat?
are listen. You are under arrest at the moment for an alleged breach of the Public Health Act that occurred at 5:25 p.m. Monday, the 4th of October, 2021, in the vicinity of Timberall Park, Rodpoint. Okay. I'm going to remind you. You do not have to say or do anything if you don't want to. Anything you do say or do is being recorded, and this recording may be used in court as evidence. Do you understand that?
Yeah. So you're going to are you going to try and get violent with me now, or what are you going to do?
No,
Come on, let's go, Mr. Boykov.
You want to cuff me or what?
You're under arrest. Stand up.
Please just come on, mate.
I'm not playing games.
You're filming? You're filming.
I'm not playing games.
Come on,
Over, you're under arrest. I've told you that. Over there.
Alright.
Is there any reason to touch me?
Come on. Yeah, you're under arrest.
You're under arrest.
Come on, man.
You have a
Don't
right
make
to
this any
so
harder
move.
than what it needs to be, please. Come on.
Right. Can I take something with me?
No. You don't need it. Let's go. We tried this one way. You didn't want to do it.
Take the keys. Follow us.
Because you're under arrest, you need to go to custody. You need to search it to make sure you've got nothing on you that can harm you or anyone else in that custody, alright? Do you understand that? So we can start by taking that off, please.
Taking it off.
Take that off.
Maybe? Yeah. Can put that on.
Thank you, sir.
And if you just stand and follow us, we'll run.
And then if you just turn around for us, we can give you quick searches. Anything on you that could harm myself or anyone here?
No, mate.
Alright, thank you.
So my name is Senior Constable Jane from Burwood High, as I mentioned earlier. Our whole search is going to be video recorded as well, okay?
Замыкай двери, здесь за нами.
Turn around for
Love
me.
you, baby.
Just quickly lift up your jumper for me. Just a little bit. Yeah, double bit. Cheers, man. Let's
Okay,
go.
let's go.
Yeah, so here's a question for you at home. Now, think about all the people in New South Wales who have been apprehended by police, accused of being in breach of the Chief Health Officer directions. How many of those people had their homes entered by police and arrested in their homes and brought into police custody? Why was it that his home was entered and he was arrested in that way, and other people that are in breach of these directions every single day why do they not receive the same treatment? Why is there such a disparity here? Now, I've got a little bit of paperwork here that has been sent to me. So we've got Simeon's go-ahead for me to just take you through this. So what we've got here are the details of the offence. Okay, so Public Health Act 2010, Section 10, failed to comply with a notice direction in relation to Section 7/8/9 COVID-19. It's got the time and the place there. Failed to abide by the current public health order in regards to the section 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so notice that it's totally in relation to the Public Health Act, and these types of offences or breaches or whatever you want to refer to it as should result in a fine, one would imagine, not having your bloody door busted in and getting arrested in your home. All right, now Exhibit 2, this was from the document and the so-called fact sheet, says the matter involves an allegation that the accused breached the public health order by being outside without a reasonable excuse. All right, so I guess New South Wales Police, they sort of decide what's reasonable and what's not. Goes on to say, in this instance, it is the police case that the accused was not in the process of... is this meant to be one word here, in the, or is that supposed to be two words? Anyway, process of exercising as maintained by him, but there to obtain footage of a police traffic stop for his YouTube channel. All right, so I guess what the police are saying is that he left his home for reasons outside of the Chief Health Officer directions, a reason such as obtaining footage of a police traffic stop for a YouTube channel, which they're, I guess, basically stating is not a reason within the Chief Health Officer's directions. All right, and we have some bail conditions here. Okay, not to come within 100 metres of police who are interacting with members of the public, which I think is ridiculous. You could be walking down the street and turn a corner, police could be interacting with the public, and so what, in that case, you'd be in breach of bail conditions. And then it says here, not to approach police unless for an emergency or to report a crime, okay, and also to comply with all directions under the Public Health Act. Okay, so those are the bail conditions right there. So as you can see, quite restrictive, most definitely. We've seen a lot of these types of bail conditions used arbitrarily. We saw the hidden footage from Marty Fokker. We, of course, saw the horrible anti-democratic and inhumane conditions that were presented to Monica, which she, of course, declined to sign. So let's hear it from the Aussie Cossack himself. I caught up with Simeon a little bit earlier today to have a bit of a talk about the whole ordeal and to hear things from his perspective. Our discussion goes for around 12 minutes. I'm going to play it for you right now. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined here by Simeon, the Aussie Cossack. So, Simeon, first of all, welcome to MCJ Report. Now, to get started, would you mind walking us through it? We've seen the footage of you out exercising, speaking to a senior Constable Kingston, I believe. Now, it's not clear to me what crime you were committing, but apparently it looks like exercise is a crime. And then we saw a couple of days later you were arrested in your home. So would you mind just walking us through the events and giving your thoughts on it?
Okay, yeah, you're certainly right, mate. I was exercising, and I admitted to exercising on camera. And I even said, knowing that Kingston might pull a shifty on me, I said for the just in case we go to court, I'm demonstrating that I'm exercising. And I panned the camera, which showed me strenuously exercising, heavy breathing, and I was running along a section of the Baywalk. Now, you guys are from Melbourne, but the Baywalk in Sydney is this iconic, Baywalk or Bay Run, they call it, where everybody exercises. If there was one place in Sydney where you would exercise, it's this place. Now, it's very clear to anyone. It'll be clear for a judge, and it was clear to Kingston, that I was exercising. Even when we were talking with the policeman, I was doing squats non-stop, and your viewers can see that in the video. Now, obviously, firstly, this highlights how stupid these laws are, but it shows that I'm complying with the health direction, with the health order, by exercising and by being within my 5-kilometre area. I live quite close to the Baywalk. Now, in the fact sheet from the charges, there's an allegation that I broke the public health order. But the fact sheet itself, which is written by the police, it states that the accused was exercising for the purposes of legitimizing, having an excuse to be out in public. Now, the question is that illegal? Is it illegal to exercise as an excuse? I mean, obviously, I'm going out of my way to exercise. I'm complying with the health order, but that's not good enough for the police.
No, it certainly doesn't seem like it's good enough for him. Now, the senior constable Kingston, he threatened to take action against you because he accused you of doing something outside of exercise, and then it seemed like he came good on his threat and he barged into your home in front of your family. What do you make on this police officer sort of coming good on his threat? Do you reckon it's going to bite him in the backside?
Well, look, I think that Kingston was in a bit of a pickle here. He sort of had no choice. He had to follow through on his threat. He threatened to take action, and he needed to take action because, as I pointed out on my YouTube channel, a policeman cannot threaten to get you. He can't threaten to take action against you. He must actually follow through. If he doesn't follow through, then it's considered to be, a threat and a misference of police powers. Now, Kingston, unfortunately, didn't really have a leg to stand on in this situation, and his attempt to prosecute me for a breach of the public health order was a desperate attempt maybe to cover his own threat. I don't think he thought it through. I don't think he conferred with senior prosecutors or DPP or senior police. If he did, they would have told him that, mate, this is not a solid case at all. Kingston in the fact sheet elaborates on the fact that I'm a YouTuber. I have a YouTube channel. I film the police. I've got, he even says he's got 100,000 subscribers. He's known for filming the police interactions and so forth and so forth. And it's almost as though he's complaining about that. He doesn't like that. He hates that, right? But that's got nothing to do with the charge. The charge is breach of public health order, and there is no breach there. Public health order, which actually today is redundant. They actually removed this health order. That's why Kingston rushed it in on Friday night. Here we are Monday morning. There's no more health order. Now, it was very sneaky. It was like trying to kick a field goal just before halftime, and he snuck it in there, but it's not going to stand up in court. Now, as we know, this tactic has been used in Melbourne on journalists, on activists. It's not about the charge, it's about the bail conditions. We know one of your colleagues there, one of the freedom fighters of Melbourne, Marty Fokker, he managed to get a recording of police admitting, senior Victorian police admitting that let's just arrest this guy and we'll slap some charges on him and then get him with the bail conditions. So that's what they're doing. That's their little tactic. They'll get you on anything they can. They'll bring you into the station, and then where they really get you is on the bail conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. So they actually held you over the weekend, and did they release you with conditions? If so, is that something you're able to comment on at this stage?
Yeah, no problems. I'm happy to comment on everything. So they took me in late Friday night. Now, just before I was thrown into the paddy wagon or put into the paddy wagon, my wonderful wife, who's very brave, she filmed everything and she uploaded this immediately to my Telegram channel. And the word got out that the Aussie Cossack is arrested. Now, this is very interesting. I didn't know this at the time, but while I was in the cell, in the holding cell at the Burwood police station, there were people at the front of the police station gathering. There were people coming in to protest. There were people complaining over the phone. There were even in the fact sheet, they say that just in the first sort of hour of my incarceration, there was more than 300 phone calls to the police station. And these phone calls continued all night. And in the end, there was thousands of phone calls from the general public, people phoning in to complain about what they saw, what they interpreted and correctly interpreted as a false arrest. And phone calls were coming in from as far as Poland, United States, United Kingdom, Canada. Some of these phone calls were very strong, and the police said they were even being threatened. They were very concerned. Now, I said to the police, look, I can't control public opinion. But what I can do is say thank you to everybody who showed some mateship, some camaraderie, and they jumped in the ring to fight for me, and I really appreciate that. I didn't know it at the time, but it is much appreciated, and that's exactly the reason why Kingston prosecuted me. So in his version of events, he says that I was filming him while I was running. I was filming Kingston, and Kingston was apprehending 4 Middle Eastern Australians, gentlemen of Middle Eastern appearance, and these blokes were getting apprehended or questioned by Kingston. And as I was running past, I was filming this interaction. I believe it's very important for all of us to film always. If you see a fellow citizen getting arrested or questioned or harassed or anything, any police interaction, it's good to film them. Now, police film everything with their body cameras, and we know that when it suits them, they say the body camera was working. When it doesn't suit them, they say, oh, the body camera was off. So we should be always also filming the police as much as possible. And it's not only for our safety, it's for the courts. So there's no, oh, he said this or I said this. So it's very important to film the police. And that's why we have this, FTP campaign. And we know in Melbourne as well, there are a lot of you guys there who film the police, very successful. And that's really, really what gets under their skin. That's what I was prosecuted for. That's what I was put in jail for, or put into the dock, incarcerated in police custody and bailed. It wasn't for breaching a public health order. It's as clear as day that I was exercising. Any judge will see that, and this will be thrown out. And this will be thrown out together with the countless other charges that police have slapped on me. Now, because of the whole health crisis and the overexcitement, overzealousy that the police are showing, they're putting charges on people without thinking them through. And they know that these are going to get thrown out in court, or more than likely, they'll be withdrawn by the DPP or the prosecutor, even before it gets to court, before it gets to hearing, should I say. So this is a classic example. But, the bail conditions are absolutely outrageous. Yeah, the bail conditions, I promised to tell you, I'm sorry, I didn't answer the question. The bail conditions are, I said to them straight away, I'm not going to accept any conditions that involve limiting social media or journalism or freedom of speech. And I actually said to the duty manager, I said, guys, Monica Smith is an example, and if you want me to go down her path, I'm happy to refuse to sign any of your paperwork. I'm happy to sit in here. You can take me away, you can take me to prison, and I'll just wait. Obviously, the police didn't want me in jail because of the huge commotion that the general public had caused. They literally had the public order and riot squad called in to build police station to protect it from, the angry mob that was phoning in and, just showing their disgust and contempt for the police actions. So the police came up with a solution. They said, all right, we'll give you these bail conditions. And the bail conditions they gave me were unprecedented. My barrister said he's never seen these kind of conditions. The conditions are that Mr. Boykoff may not be within 100 metres of any police. 100 metres. Don't forget, these bail conditions are supposed to relate to the charge itself, and the charge is breach of a public health order. So what are we talking about when we talk about 100 metres? Am I such a corona super spreader that the police need to be not 1.5 metres, but 100 metres away from me? It's absolutely absurd. Doesn't make any sense. But between us, we know it makes perfect sense. It's just an example of police intimidation. It's a way to stop me from holding the police to account, from filming them, from doing my job as a citizen journalist, as an independent, YouTuber, bringing out the truth and exposing the police misconduct and intimidation tactics.
Simeon, I really hope that when it comes to the court date, you absolutely take them to the cleaners. I think it's a terrible injustice that's been committed against you, and there's many other injustices similar that you've seen other people faced with. Now, before we wrap up your interview, do you have any final messages for Australia and our international audience?
Well, guys, if I do get arrested and put into prison, you know exactly what the reason is. You know exactly that it's politically motivated, that it's a setup, and whatever pressure you were applying last time when I was put in, as a disclaimer, don't threaten, don't do illegal things, but as much pressure as you can. And I want to say thank you to everybody, and we should all fight for one another, and we should all stick together. And, if one goes down, we have to all step up. And it was great that Monica Smith was released in time. We were all very concerned and we were campaigning for her release. And I'm sure that the same will happen if the Aussie Cossack gets incarcerated. But definitely, we'll have to wait and see. This bail condition of do not approach police within 100 metres, it's never been done before. Even people who have committed, very serious crimes don't get, these ridiculous bail conditions put on them. It's not enforceable. It's almost like it's given in order to be contravened. It's like a setup. So who knows? If I get arrested, and if you're watching this, and I've been arrested, you know what to do, guys.
Absolutely. Now, Simeon, thank you very much. And finally, to the viewers at home, if you'd like to stay up to date with Simeon and everything that he is doing, it's the Aussie Cossack on YouTube. Simeon, mate, thanks a lot for your time, and we hope to have you back on the show really soon.
Thanks very much, champ, and regards to everyone down there in Melbourne. We're very proud of all of you, and hold the line. We'll get through this.
Thanks, brother. Keep fighting.
Yeah, mate.
All right, so a big thank you to Simeon. That is the Aussie Cossack on YouTube, so make sure that you go and check him out. It's absolutely crazy times that we're living in, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen, where you've got a finable offence. That's right, just should have been issued with an infringement notice, but no, they got to go after him, arrest him on a Friday evening, knowing that he'll be held up, cooped up in the police station, and then released with bail conditions. I mean, come on. You really have to think that there's something more going on here. And to me, it looks targeted. So I'll just go out and say that. But nonetheless, that brings us to the end of this segment. So please comment your thoughts in relation to what happened in the comments. Obviously, it's just, I think it's absolute rubbish. And it's not the future of our country that we want. We need to stamp this sort of stuff out now, because otherwise, God help us.